Okay, so by now you should have recorded your 4-chord sequence on the piano for your 2 verses, verse 1 and verse 2. We're now moving on to the chorus, and again you need to put in a new chord sequence in the piano. So you definitely want to drag this after this. If you start recording here, you will obviously record over your work. So make sure it starts there. Go back into your piano. You have very similar chords for the chorus, but they're just in a slightly different order. So your first chord is a B flat, your second chord is an F, third chord is back to B flat, fourth chord is F, fifth chord is C, and sixth chord is back to F. So this obviously has 6 chords rather than 4 chords. The way you play them is also a little bit different. So in the first verse 1 and verse 2, you played 4 chords of each. But for the chorus it's slightly different, and you need to play each chord 8 times. So it's double the amount of times you play each chord. So it will sound like this. Okay, so you might have noticed that my very last chord, the F chord, I didn't play 8 times, I just held it on. And the reason why I've done that is because that last chord will be the end of your song, and you just want it to fade out and not be too harsh on the ears. Okay, so we're just going to record this. Okay, so I'll just stop recording, back into my track view. I can see it's recorded there, and obviously at this point you need to make sure that there is no silence between the verse and the chorus. You may need to trim down some things and do a little bit of experimentation with the editing, but just see what works and play around with it. Do make sure that this isn't a different tempo to this. You want them to be exactly the same, so it might be a wise idea to have a listen of this one before you start recording your chorus. You can edit the tempo by going to settings and tempo, and that should also be a nice easy way of sorting out any tempo problems.